and welcome back to Tomb Raider. So we've just started level 11. This is the Obelisk of Khamoon. This level is kind of interlinked with the last one, the City of Khamoon. You'll see why by the end of the level. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to enter this room on the right. And you can see we've got 4 movable blocks here. The only one that we really need to move is this one on the right, the very far left, sorry. So push this out of the way. The other 3 rooms are optional, but there are collectibles behind there, so we'll get them soon. So let's jump into the water. And as soon as we surface, we're going to want to climb out because there is a crocodile in here. And he can make things more complicated for us. So let's see if we can find him. We're going to grab a few things. We've got a small medi pack here. If we swim through, and then if we swim around the outside, there should be a key just on here. So let's pick that up. We'll swim past this block here. And there should actually be some magnum clips on the floor. Excellent, that should be all the collectibles for this room. So let's go ahead and go back to the main room. Most of the collectibles are on the outside edges, but you can get a little bit lost in there. Okay, so this next room, it is completely optional, you don't actually have to come in here. So be careful when you come through here because there is quite a large drop. So you're going to want to walk over and try and drop so that it's just sliding down backwards. Then we'll grab the edge. There is a panther down here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up, let her drop to the floor so that she doesn't lose any health. Do a roll and I'm quickly going to run over for this block. As long as you're quick, the panther won't be able to get you. Awesome, so I'm just going to take out my pistols. If it disappears or if it goes in hiding, you can just drop down and tease it back out. I think he's dead. Yep. Okay, so to get out of this room, I'm going to need to pull this lever. You can see that's opened a door at the top of the room. We'll climb back up here. We'll pick up the small medi pack. Let's climb up. We'll climb up onto these blocks. And be careful around here because if she does take a step too far, she will actually fall over and die. We are quite high up now, as you can see. If she falls off, she will almost certainly die. So you're going to want to carefully walk to the edge, step back, do a running jump, and then before you drop down this hole, just do a little hop over. And just behind the door there is actually some magnum clips. The camera is kind of stupid in this game, it does tend to block your view a lot. So just hang and drop. And then we'll carry on to the next room. Now this third block, there's actually nothing behind it except a panther, so you don't have to open it if you want. If you want to get all the kills, feel free, but just be aware that these corridors here, although they're interlinked, they are very enclosed. So I'm going to take out my magnums, because I don't want to take out too much damage, and I don't have a lot of room to jump around. So I'm going to use the rope technique. Works quite well. You can roll on the spot, and at the end of the corridor there's a small medi pack to pick up. There's nothing on the other side of that gate. Only thing is there's a panther waiting for us. So normally what I would do is I would pull out one of these movable blocks underneath this golden door here, but I'm actually going to use a shortcut that means we don't have to go through that doorway. So we're going to take the key we found in the very first room and we're going to unlock this door. This does actually unlock the golden door behind us as well, but we don't need to go there just yet. So before we go anywhere, let's jump over to the central platform, pick up these shotgun shells, we'll dive in the water and there should be some magnum clips on the bottom. So now let's swim out. You just want to be over in this far left corner here. There's nothing else in this room for now. And let's slide down. So be careful when you step through here, there's 2 panthers waiting for us in the next room. If you step off these blue bricks, the panthers will be able to attack you. For some reason they don't really come over this, so she stands in the doorway. Okay? So we're going to want to climb up to the top of this room. It's quite a tall room, so you want to be careful when you're climbing along these ledges. If you don't die when you fall down, you'll have to climb all the way back up again. So we're just going to want to do a running jump, we'll roll, do another running jump and grab. Then again we want to climb up here, just a straight up jump. And you probably want to be quite careful. So you want to line up your jump properly. No need to grab. Again, another running jump with this one, no need to grab. And then let's jump over here. Before we go anywhere, we're just going to drop down here and pick up a large medi pack. There's no need to drop down these ramps, there's actually nothing down there except for 2 mummies. Again, if you want to get all the kills, feel free to drop down, but just be aware that there's nowhere for you to hide. So you are going to have to face 2 mummies at the same time. Okay, so now we're going to do another running jump. Definitely want to grab this time. And that's another big one, so wait until the later end of the jump before you grab. We'll climb up onto this block. Jump straight up and grab. And now we are really high up, so you want to be extra careful. And again for this one, it's quite deceptive. It's a short jump, but you do need to do a running jump. And press grab straight away. You can save it at the top of this room if you want. I'm going to do just that, because if I make a mistake I have to go back to the start of the level. And I'm going to jump up here, and as soon as I climb up I'm going to get out my shotgun. Because there is a mummy at the top of these stairs, and you're going to want to try and keep your distance as best you can, because the mummies on this level are explode. See there, I didn't get far enough away and I took a bit of damage. But it's no big deal. So there's quite a few things that we can do in this level, and we can do them in whatever order we want, to a certain degree. But this is the order that I'm going to do them in, because it means I get to do a bit of multitasking. You can drop down this slope any way you want, I prefer to slide down backwards. You can go backwards or forwards, it doesn't matter. And then what we're going to want to do is climb up into this alcove. Pull this lever. And before we drop down, let's take out this panther. As you can see, I'm building up quite a lot of magnum already. And then we're going to come back here where the panther came from, because we've got to pick up. Okay, so we pulled that lever in the alcove. That meant that the slope has now turned into steps. Gonna need to do that another 3 times before we get out of here. So I'm going to jump onto this blue platform. Again, you can save it here, but there's not really any need at the moment. I might save it later on when I come back. So the objective is, I'll just pick up this large medipack here. We need to find 4 of these levers, which lower the 4 drawbridges. You can see just there. And we need to collect the 4 items that's on the pillar. Then we need to travel back to the previous level. So that we can put those 4 items into the 4 slots on the pillar that leads us to the 3rd level, if that makes sense. So we're going to grab a secret before we do anything in this room. We have actually abandoned the first room for now, we'll come back to that later. You just want to shimmy across this gap. Pull up here. Oh, she's a pain in the arse when she does this. And the camera's being awkward. That's the one thing I hate about this game. Okay, so we're going to grab these medi packs. And these magnum clips. So that secret one right there. So I'm going to take a hop back. I might take 2 actually. I'll just do a running jump over here. That was pretty close actually. It's quite awkward because you can't overshoot it, and if she lands down there she'll take a fair bit of damage. So I'm going to hop over this gap. You can probably see that there were some shotgun shells at the end here. So we'll go ahead and pick them up. And then we're going to drop down safely. So we're going to drop off backwards. And if you want to, you can just drop down on the left hand side over here. But I'm going to drop, grab, and grab again. And then we're going to shimmy all the way over to the right hand side. Now if you touch the ground, if you fall down, not only will you take damage, but 2 mummies will spawn. So you're going to want to take care of them pretty quickly if you do happen to drop down. However, if you do it all right, you shouldn't actually need to touch the ground at all. So we're going to drop off here again. And we're going to shimmy. Again, all the way to the right hand side. You can see 2 alcoves down there, one to the left and one to the right. That's where the mummies come from. There's no reason at all to drop down onto the floor unless you want all the kills. And I'll show you a nice little shortcut that means that you don't have to drop down to the floor at all. Okay, so once we get onto the sledge here, this is again deceptively small. You do need to take a running jump for this one. Make sure you grab. And I'm just going to pull this lever. Other side. I always do that for some reason. Never remember which side it's on. So that's the first of the drawbridges down. Now I'm going to use the safe crystal here because if this goes wrong I might take some damage. And again, just to be in the exact spot to use it. Something that gets rectified in the later games. So you're going to stand right in the corner here, and you're going to want to try and make it so that the top of Lara's head is actually in line with the end of the pillar. Take hop back, do a running jump, and she can only just make it if you curve it. If you get it wrong, no need to worry at all. You do actually need to drop down to the ground floor anyway, so it just just means that you won't get to skip the mummies. So once we're done, we can climb up here. As long as you've pulled the lever below, you can just walk straight out. We won't bother getting the items just yet, because we can only pick them up one at a time right now. So because I pulled this lever earlier, that's turned the second slope into stairs, which means we can carry on. So let's climb up these stairs. And then at the top there's a gap that we can shimmy across. Some of these gaps are designed to either look a lot further away than they actually are, or to look like they're really, really far away when they actually aren't. It's a pretty clever level design. So shimmy all the way over to the right hand side. The graphics always glitch here for me, I'm not sure why. When it's safe to drop down, do so. I'll safely drop down here just in case. We're going to want to go through this doorway and we're going to pull the lever. And that pulls the third slope into stairway. So let's climb up these stairs. Whoops. Controls could be a bit stiff sometimes. Okay, and there is actually a mummy up here, so what I'm going to do is, without climbing up, I'm going to take out my shotgun, jump up, hopefully she should lock onto him. And that way you can take on the mummy without getting any damage at all. So we pull this lever, this door leads us back out to the big staircase at the top of the room with all the blue ledges. We don't need to go back there just yet. We're going to pull this lever first. That lowers the second drawbridge. I'm going to carefully walk to the edge because we are right at the very top of the room. Pick up the small medi pack. As you can see, it's a long way down, so be careful. I'm going to use this safe crystal here because I'm about to go and get a secret, and if I fall down it means a very, very long climb back up, or it means death. So I'm just going to make sure I save it here in case I do mess up. So let's come back out this doorway. We want to come back down these stairs. And we're going to pull this lever that I've just ran past to lower the third drawbridge. I'm going to step onto this leafy rock just here. And we've got a few pickups to get behind this fence. We've got a small medi pack, some magnum clips, and a set of magnum clips. Now you can't actually climb up that block behind me, so instead what we need to do is we need to walk very carefully on the outside of this ledge. You can probably tell that she doesn't really want to walk, and she might actually bounce off of the pillars a little bit like she's doing now. But as long as you hold walk, she won't fall off. Walk to the edge, and we're going to jump for that column in the centre there. This is secret number 2. So a nice big jump, do not grab, just a straight jump. And we've got secret 2 is an Uzi clip and a medi pack. Now you can see there's a pillar down there with a white, I'm not quite sure what symbol that is, but it's like a circular symbol with little squiggly lines on either side of it. We're going to aim for that. So you want to make sure that it lines up with Lara's head. Take a hop back, I'm going to do a run and jump. I'm going to grab just so that she curves her arc. That was actually quite lucky. And that's secret number 3. She does take a little bit of damage, but unfortunately that's unavoidable if you want to get the secret. So now what we would do is we would drop into the water, go into the very first room of the game with the 4 movable pillars and we would climb up into the golden doorway. However, I'm going to show you a little shortcut. If you don't feel confident in doing it, feel free to do it the long way. But hopefully this should work. What we're going to do is do a standing jump and we're going to grab. Just hold X and you should land in the doorway. Now the mummy in here is actually inactive. The only way it activates is if you step inside the doorway when you climb up inside the golden door. So because we're not going anywhere near there, we'll be absolutely fine. All we have to do is run around this way. We don't have to fight the mummy at all, he remains inactive. And then let's just pick up all 4 items. Again, some of the textures do tend to glitch out a little bit. You are completely safe, the drawbridge isn't going to fall through or anything. It just kind of glitches out a bit when she steps on it. You can see her foot's kind of sinking through. So once we've got the last one, an underwater doorway opens. So I'm going to dive into the water. And when we go through the doorway, we are going to have a few items to collect. And because it's such a long swim underwater, there's no way to come up for air until we get to the very end. We're going to have to come back and do it in another trip. So I'm going to swim down this tunnel. There's nothing behind me. You can see that there's 4 alcoves. There are 3 out. Pardon me. There are 3 out of the 4 alcoves that contain items. So the first one, there is some magnum clips on the left. In the second one, on the left, there is a small medi pack. And the second on the right, there are some shotgun shells. Now, I'm going to be a bit risky here and I'm going to try and make the swim to the end. It is a long swim, so if you're anywhere below half your breath meter by the time you pick up the last item, just go back for air. I should be okay here. Okay, so now that we're in this pool, we're going to have a few more items to collect. And you can probably hear that there's a mummy as well. So let's not climb out of the pool just yet. We've got shotgun shells over here, and then over by the entrance we've got some magnum clips. And a small medi pack. So what I'm going to do is, rather than climb out and get attacked by the mummy, hopefully the mummy won't be anywhere near you when you surface. So you can probably see that in the top right hand corner here, just to the right of the save crystal, there is a ledge that's got like a kind of mossy alcove. I'm going to climb out and go straight for that. Just climb straight up. Oh, damn it. Depending on how lucky you are, you can sometimes get there without any sort of damage whatsoever. But not so lucky this time. It's going to take him out. Nice and easy. It's a lot easier than trying to fight him, believe me. Those things really drain your health. We're going to climb up here and we're going to pick up 2 more magnum clips. We really do get a lot of ammo from now on. There's a lot of pickups and the secrets are quite rewarding. So do not worry about wasting ammo. I'm going to save it just here, but I think there's no real need because we're almost at the end of the level now. I'm going to save it here anyway. So we're going to want to climb back up into this alcove. And you can probably recognise where we are. We're actually overlooking the first level. And we're going to get our shotgun out. And before you drop down, take out the mummy. Again, 3 shots. Let's jump over here. And in this corner there should be a medi pack. and then let's jump to the other side of the room. Now this is going to connect back with the first level. And if you can remember, we passed a tall pillar. So what we're going to want to do is take the 4 items we've just collected, put them in the nice tall pillar there. So the first one I think is the scarab. Next one is the Eye of Horus. If you want to cancel that little cutscene, then you can just draw your guns. For some reason that always cancels it. The Ankh is the next one. And then when we place the final item in the final slot, the level exit should open. Okay, so let's go ahead and exit the level. There's nothing left for us to do here. Kills 10, pickups 36, secrets 3 of 3. I'll see you in the next and final eat.